This video is the first of a two-part series. In it, I will introduce you to EUROMOD, the tax benefit microsimulation model for the EU. I will also introduce the concept of tax benefit microsimulation more generally, before describing what EUROMOD is, how it works, and why we think it is special. What is a tax benefit microsimulation model? Simply put, it is a tool used to calculate the distributional effects of tax benefit policies on household incomes. It can also be used to measure the impact of these policies on a government's budgetary costs or on an individual's work incentives. Policies may be the ones actually in place, we call this the baseline system, or they may be hypothetical policies simulated by the user. Running a simulated policy system enables a user to look at changes to household incomes and to separate out the impacts of these simulated policies, holding other things constant. There are two main inputs that underpin such models: representative household microdata and tax benefit policy rules coded within the model. The model uses these two inputs to calculate benefit entitlements and tax liabilities for each household and calculates a net income. Where a set of policy rules are then reformed by the user, the model recalculates these entitlements and liabilities in the microdata. This produces a revised, that is to say simulated, net income. So what is EUROMOD? EUROMOD is the tax benefit microsimulation model for the EU, covering all member states. Because the model is managed centrally and its update and maintenance follow a common set of protocols, the policy rules for all EU countries are coded to a common standard. This makes cross-country comparisons more meaningful, but also much simpler. Once you understand how one country's policies are coded, this knowledge can generally be transferred to any other country within the model. Each year's rules for any given country are known as a policy system. When you access EUROMOD, you will see that it contains a library of policy systems that date back to the mid-2000s for most countries. These are the baseline systems, and they reflect each country's policies as they were actually implemented at the time. How does EUROMOD work? EUROMOD is a static microsimulation model. The recalculation of net incomes after a simulation only takes into account the first order effects of a policy reform. In other words, the model does not incorporate any behavioural response that a policy change in the real world might elicit. It is often described as a simulator of the morning after effects of a policy reform. Coded policy systems are read in via the EUROMOD software's user interface, and policies can be amended, removed, or added in the UI. These changes to a system make up a simulation run, and on the run command, these new tax benefit routines are run against the baseline input microdata, based on the EU Survey of Income and Living Conditions, the EU SILC. The software's calculation engine then computes a new dataset, the output microdata. These simulated data, the results of a policy reform scenario, can then be analysed and compared against the original baseline results using EUROMOD's built-in analysis tools. Alternatively, the user can take these output microdata and conduct their own analysis on them in their preferred statistical software package. But what makes EUROMOD special? EUROMOD is unique in a number of ways. By design, it is the only model that can be used to undertake comparative analysis across the EU. This means that it can be used to enact policy swaps, the wholesale transfer of a set of policies from one country to another. This is because the coding for all countries follows the same protocols and uses the same EUROMOD language. EUROMOD is also unique in that it can be used to simulate and review EU-wide reforms. Again, this is a function of the standardised design used by all countries in the model. EUROMOD is freely available for non-commercial use. The software is downloadable via the EUROMOD website, and the coded policy systems that make up the model can be requested via a simple online form. Permission from the data owners is required to obtain the input microdata for each country. But in most cases, the microdata are based on the EU SILC, and a request via the Eurostat data access system is straightforward. EUROMOD also benefits from a well-established community of users who contribute to the model's expanding working paper series. Finally, the model is actively maintained, updated and improved. A new public release, fully documented and including policy systems updated to the current year for all EU countries, is made available annually. So do you want to know more? In the first place, visit our website. You might also like to check out our online user resources or take one of our 3-day hands-on training courses, events that we run at least twice a year at Essex. If you are keen to hear more about EUROMOD, including how it is being used and can be used, why not check out the second video in this series, EUROMOD as a tool for policy analysis. Thank you for listening.